What's up, you guys? Welcome to an all-new episode of SCNS Live. And yes, we unfortunately are not on Facebook Live tonight because I don't know. Just errors with Facebook Live and XSplit. Sometimes they don't like each other. They don't talk. Somebody's in one corner, somebody's in the other. I'm just like that awkward person that wants to get out the door when two people start fighting. Anyway.
Gotta love technology. Gotta love technology.
Like, woo, boy, I gotta go. Y'all have a good evening. Anyway,
we put the monkey wrench in it.
So anyway, yes, we are live there, but we are live on our YouTube and Twitch channel, so I hope you enjoy us over there. We'll be over there as well. Anyway, guys, I am Jason the X. The guy sitting over here is Ricardo.
Hi, I'm excited for Spider-Man, and I'm wearing Nike. Just do it.
Just throwing the salt out there. And, of course, the guy over there is Bryce.
Hey, everybody. Hey, I hate gremlins when they mess with our Facebook.
Yeah, it's pretty effing horrible.
Those bitches.
Yeah.
And of course,
but I do like the movie franchise.
And of course, behind the board, who's pretty pissed off that all this happened right before the show went on, it's Cora.
Hi, Cora.
For once, I had everything under control. Everything was going smoothly. And then XSplit and Facebook decided to have a feud again. And guess what happened? We don't get a show on Facebook. I'm blaming Facebook for this one, though, because XSplit and Facebook, out of those two, Facebook is usually the one that is the reason why it's not working.
We love you, Facebook, still, though.
I don't know about all that. Anyway.
We're on the outs.
I tolerate you.
We're on the outs.
For now, I tolerate you. Anyway, we do have a great show for you guys. We do want to recognize today one of our, a legendary actor, Burt Reynolds, did pass away. He was 82 years old. Famous actor of Smokey and the Bandit.
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Longest Yard.
Of course, the Boogie Nights movie. I mean, the guy is pretty much done it all and took a pretty sexy picture on a bearskin rug. So, you know.
Yeah,
he did. And you know what? He was in a great episode of The X-Files, too, by the way.
Was he really?
Yes. You should definitely check it out because he is fantastic and funny.
And in honor of his passing, I will be growing out a mustache for the next 30 days. So
I'm going to be watching Best Little Whorehouse when I get home.
I'm sure.
I'm going to glue a mustache to my face.
I could make a joke about facial hair. Or you could stop shaving too.
Oh!
I only get away with this because Kat and Cass are not here tonight. Guys, we miss you. It's storming in Dallas. There's some flooding. It's sporadic, but they have a longer way to travel than us, so we hope that they're okay and just woo! Anyway, guys, we miss you. We wish you were here. As long as you're safe, don't want them getting any trouble out there.
Exactly. Here.
Because, we live in Dallas. People be driving crazy.
Hopefully they'll be back next week.
Yes, they will, I'm sure.
Yeah, I won't be here next week, so there's that.
Well, unless they're washed away by the flood.
We did have a good weekend this weekend. We went out to ReaperCon 2018. Cora and I will be talking about that a little bit later on in the show. Captain Marvel images were released this week.
Yay!
They did not break the internet. Let me tell you, guys, breaking the internet. Brie, I love you, Brie. But breaking the internet would have been a trailer. Trailers make us go crazy. 10 images? I mean, they were good images for the, which we're going to be looking at a little bit later on. We're going to be doing a little bit of a deep dive on that.
We got to see the scrolls for the first time. Yeah. So that was
But also tonight, we can cast it better. Marvel edition. So they can do all they want to. Ooh, we got a new Captain Marvel movie. We can cast some stuff, and we're going to later on in the show. But first off, let's kick it off with some super cool nerd news. And first up on Super Cool Nerd News, this is good because Henry Cavill has been cast as Geralt in a Netflix Witcher series. And while researching this story, I've learned a couple of things. For one, women really like Henry Cavill. Secondly, people really don't like Henry Cavill and don't want him to play Geralt. I have been at so many ends of the spectrum, I feel like a Skittles bag. So basically, Netflix will be releasing a series based off the book and video game franchise, The Witcher, and Henry Cavill himself, Superman, will be playing Geralt. Now, oh boy, these reactions. as I read on an article on Kotaku, the reactions have been from doubtful to horny.
That is the best way to describe this.
I love. Some women do not care. They are like, it is Henry Cavill. I am in. Please wring out my panties. And then there are guys out there that's like, oh, he's too wooden. Oh, he's ruined by Superman.
Man,
oh, is he going to shave the mustache? You know what? I'm going to flat out say it. I think this is great casting. I like Henry Cavill as an actor. I especially loved him actually in Man of Uncle. That was one of my favorite movies he did.
That was a good movie.
I think he is going to nail it as The Witcher, and I love that this is going to be a Netflix series. We're going to get several episodes of it. I don't want a movie on this. I want a long journey because I'm used to the books, I'm used to the video games. I think most fans are more interested in having that long trip. So, yes, Cavill will be playing. Also, he had a very interesting statement on his Instagram. My new mailing address is Geralt, care of I'm going to mispronounce all of this. Vesmir, Care Morhen Valley, Hertz, Cadwin. Please note I'm rarely there. Monster slaying being what it is. So replies will be few and far between, if any at all. Netflix, Witcher, Geralt of Rivera. Congratulations, Henry. I'm glad you got the role. Don't let us down. I don't think he will. And there you go. Don't have a date for the series just yet, but you can guarantee when it starts filming and images start coming out, we will have that story here on the show. All right, Bryce, what have you got for us this week?
So Crazy Rich Asians has been dominating the box office for the last 3 weeks. It's taken in over $110 million in North America alone. And so you've got the stars, which are Michelle Yeoh, who of course is Captain Juju from Star Trek Discovery, and Awkwafina from Crazy Rich Asians, who are in negotiations to sign up for a new film that is being made by the Daniels, who is Daniel Scheinert and Dan Kwan, and they are the brilliant guys behind the 2016 movie Swiss Army Man, which was actually Daniel Radcliffe's favorite film. He played a farting corpse in the movie, which, you know, was a unique opportunity for most actors. You know, they don't get to do that kind of thing. So the new movie that the Daniels are making is called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. So it's being described as an interdimensional action film. So, as weird as Swiss Army Man was, how weird can this be? I think it's going to be extra weird, and if it has dialogue similar to Swiss Army Man, where one of the main, well, the main character, you know, stated, "When I masturbate, I'm going to think about your mom." I think we're in for a treat when this comes to theaters. So,
Okay, stop that.
So,
it was from the movie.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, he gets it.
I want to watch this movie now.
Yeah.
I do have it. I do need to watch it still.
Yeah, any movie that features Daniel Radcliffe basically as a jet ski, you know, as a human jet ski that allows the other actor to ride him, you know, in the water. You know, these guys are weird.
Wasn't he
in a good
also a
way.
lighter? Kind of. Didn't he use his flatulence to help light a fire?
I know I did in college.
There you go.
I produced a blue flame
By the way, that's a
when I
ding.
was in college.
By the way, as a warning, kids, don't do that. Don't do that at home.
Don't jet ski on your friends?
Well, yeah, that. Don't jet ski on your friends, and don't use your farts to light fire.
Oh.
Because if you're not careful, which 90% of you won't be, I know you people, you will end up setting the inside of your rectum on fire. And then you have to explain that to someone in an emergency room with a straight face.
Just like the people that are setting their shoes on fire while wearing them?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to do a public service announcement for mistakes I've made in the past. After that.
Well, you can singe your butt hairs. So listen to Cora. She's right. You can do some damage and cause a stank in the living room.
Yeah.
But,
or set your house on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can look forward to Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, hopefully in the very near future with our Crazy Rich Asians in the lead, and maybe someone's penis will help guide us home.
Wow.
That's from Swiss Army Man as well.
I don't want to watch this movie. Cora, please. I need to.
Do you need some apple
ear
juice?
bleach after that.
That's it.
You need some apple juice. I need apple juice.
What? You don't like the sound of that, Jason?
No,
that
no,
movie?
absolutely not. I mean, I probably will watch it.
It's great.
Okay, so I, like many people from back in the day, loved the movie Beetlejuice. It was a great film. Everyone can agree on that, and if you don't agree with me, then
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Hey! We can't afford to have him on this show and have him break everything. Just saying. Please don't make him do that. But be prepared to say Beetlejuice 3 times. Don't. Again, but not in a movie theater. This time it will be on the Broadway stage. That's right. Beetlejuice, the musical, the musical, the musical.
Yes.
Wow.
Is coming to Broadway. They've already cast it. I forgot to write down the actors that they've cast. My apologies. I'm a bad newscaster. Forgive me. I was just really excited about the fact that we get one of my favorite films.
Beetlejuice.
You guys. What did I just say?
It's showtime.
Frick. Anyway, I'll get y'all later. But one of my favorite films is also now in one of my favorite mediums, which is a musical. I think it lends itself very well to musicals. Beetlejuice himself is already over the top, very showy, and they used music a lot in the movie to kind of portray a lot of his stuff. It'll be a great thing, and then I'm going to just disappear for a while as I go to Broadway and watch that.
I want to look more into this because I want to see if like Danny Elfman or what's his name, Tim Burton's involved in any sort of way, or if what ideas they helped with this musical. Because this is, I mean, this is a classic movie, and it's awesome, and I'm just very excited to see what all was involved to help create this. So I'm excited for this, the musical.
Me too.
Oh, as a note, this movie will, according to this, the movie will be very explicit, or the musical will be very explicit, so parents be warned.
Oh.
Which,
That's a twist.
yes. Let's see. Okay, so it's going to be ruder, raunchier, and frankly more repellent than ever.
They can get away with more now.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah. They can get away with more, and they...
Especially on stage.
Oh, yeah. If y'all don't think that people can...
Apparently we can't do
That's something Beetlejuice would do.
I mean, yes. That's the only reason I'm not killing you right now. Don't get ideas. But, okay, then.
Oh, boy. Cat and Cat's going to come out with a bitch next week. What's your story this week?
Okay, so for me, Run for the Hills Academy Awards, because everyone's going after y'all. So last month they announced a new category, the most popular film award for the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences. This was not received very well at all. Some people said it made the Academy Awards less, that it is made more like now like MTV and like Nickelodeon, which is not necessarily it's a bad thing. So the Oscars, they're backtracking and saying, we're not going to give this award out this year. We're going to do some more research on it. So one of the main reasons why this award was created was for movies like Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War and The Force Awakens and Justice League, so they could have a shot of winning an Academy Award. That's important because, let's face it, when was the last time other than The Dark Knight, I don't think a superhero movie has ever been involved in the Best Picture running. So that's one of the reasons why this award was created, kind of. But yeah, no, this was met with huge backlash. So the Academy is going to retract and say, hey, we're not doing this award just yet. Other than that is also because they're trying to boost ratings, because apparently the ratings have been falling for the last couple of years. So there's that. But yeah. Let me see. Oh, here. Somebody said critics of the idea variously complained that creating a new Oscar was akin to asking popular films to sit at the kids' table, while others argued it would devalue the eventual winner of the Best Picture Oscar. So yeah, that happened.
The award shows are long enough, so they want to add.
They're actually like saying, hey, we're only gonna show like certain awards.
Okay.
But we're gonna add an award. So I don't know. I enjoy the Academy Awards. For me, they're fun because I'm a huge movie guy. I mean, I work at a movie theater, so yeah, there's that. But this award's not happening for right now. So we'll see what happens next year, if anything. So yeah, that's my story.
Cool.
And you're sticking to
I
it.
want more recreations of iconic scenes of those years' movies, of that particular, the current year movie. I don't know. I guess I want more entertainment value. I'm saying if the actors could be persuaded to do something different, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of SNL. Maybe that would happen only on SNL, where they would parody
their own films.
Their films, yeah.
Like on the Oscar stage.
Yeah, they probably don't want to do that on the Oscar stage. Now that I think about it, they just want to sit in the audience and get drunk.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I would want to get drunk at the Academy Awards and hit on like Anne Hathaway or something. So.
Yeah, or Betty White.
I would love Betty White. I love Betty
me
White. She's
too.
amazing.
Yeah.
She's a national treasure. So, all right, Jason.
Cool. Well, no, moving on to events that happened this weekend. Cora and I went out to Dragon Con. I'm sorry, not Dragon Con.
Oh,
God,
what?
no.
You guys went to Dragon Con?
Somehow.
Without us?
And you didn't invite us.
We went to
Oh my
ReaperCon
God.
2018 out in Denton.
Okay.
And I gotta say, we had a blast. And it was just a great con. If you like tabletop D&D and you missed this weekend, you can go again next year. I recommend going all the days. Reaper Miniatures puts it on every year. We got to tour the factory as well, which was so great. You got to see how the little minis were made, and they pretty much showed us the whole operation. We got to see offices. We met the AV guys that work there, who were really cool. I can't say enough about how much fun we had at this con. Up on the channel right now, we did an interview with a couple of companies, Galadoria Games. They had some fascinating miniatures. We got some really good shots of that. Also, there's a demo of a game called Free Blades on the channel right now. It looks like a lot of fun, but I hate to keep going back to this word, but that was how this con was. Everybody was having a good time. The hotel, the new Denton Convention Center, it's relatively new. This is one of their first cons they ever covered. But they did it
It is
right.
their first con.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is their first con. Let me tell you, they did it right on their first time around. So while the tables were just set up, big tables that seated almost 10 people if you want to play a D&D game or just any type of tabletop, you could do it. The tables were numbered and numbered by seat. If you wanted food or drink from the bar, you could order it basically and have it brought from the restaurant and bar to the table.
I don't know if that was working for the actual restaurant and bar part, but I know that they have a Hula Hands connected to their hotel, and Hula Hands was doing that.
So
they had a chart with what the numbers were for the tables and where they were situated, and you could just be like, hi, I would like to order some chicken fingers, and then they would bring that to your table, which, oh god. But the hotel, in particular,
it's a very good layout.
They did go all out with it. They made special ice cream, which we did not get to try because they ran out by the time we got there.
Never underestimate nerds.
It was called I believe they called it Dungeon Dragon because they couldn't call it Dungeons and Dragons, obviously for copyright. And it was like a chocolate chunk type of ice cream. They made special drinks. They had cake pops with little skulls on them, which the Reaper miniature logo is a skull. Like, they basically were just like, ooh, and had so much fun, and they were so excited to have the people of Reaper there because the attendees are very kind, they're very thoughtful. Heck, there are some that come every year. This con has been going on for about 15 years now. They will arrive early to the hotel, and they will help Reaper set everything up, and then they will have a later flight, and they will help Reaper take down. So the con-goers themselves are also very invested in this convention, which you can feel when you're there. It just feels like a huge family, and everyone's just so chill.
I gotta admit, it was it was a really just, like you said, that vibe was there. Also, with things like the art contest, so many entries for the art contest. And while I appreciate people's art, when you think about how small the detail that they have to get on some of these things, it's amazing. Like, Kat went out there Sunday, and she said she could have taken macro shots with our camera all day because they were just that good. I got one of somebody with the finest brush I've ever seen painting this little tiny figure, and I just looked at it like, I can't do that. I just can't.
Were they using
They were using a magnifying like hood to get it. I was so impressed by the level of detail that they are able to execute on these little figures. And like I said, the factory itself, I mean, they showed us from smelting process, where the scrap goes, where molds are stored, where the molds are made. They actually invited us to come back there. Because it will be less of a group, and we could probably get some better shots. But I gotta tell you, it was just a good.
Cool.
And here's where it really gets good. They gave us a bag of stuff when we got there.
You would not stop talking about those swag bags all weekend.
They were. I felt bad taking it. They were just way too generous.
Wow.
It had paints. It had mini. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
I wanted to give a big shout out to Ron Hawkins. He's the media coordinator for Reaper. He and his wife basically run ReaperCon. I wanted to give a huge shout out to him because he's the one that set us up with that package where we got a pass for all 4 days, and we also got these swag bags, which they had. Reaper has a special thing with their con where they have 4 different factions, and you could pick which faction you wanted to be a part of. Which, by the way, my faction won. Just gonna throw that out there. River Widows won.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have a dog in this fight.
I'm on your side.
But
Are you shooting me in the head?
Yeah, pretty much.
They give you each faction has a special mini, so whatever faction you were with, if you got the swag bag, you got the mini for that. You got the special Sophie mini. Sophie is the official mascot for Reaper, so you got the mini for that year as well. You got a couple of their newer minis that they were coming out with this year. You got some paints, you got a primer, you got a paint palette to put those paints on, you got an adventure path, like this. It's a small adventure path, but they put the actual hardcover book in there. And I love stupid stuff. So you get a little stupid cup with Reaper on it, you get a pin with Reaper, and you get a notebook that says Reaper U, like a university, because they have classes. So you can take painting. Yeah. They have painting classes for everything.
Cool.
Specifically for eyes, if you wanted to do blood and gore, if you wanted to do fine details, if you want to do chainmail. If you want your kids to learn how, they have a special one for kids. And you could take these notebooks and the pen and write down all of your notes. Like, it was incredible. And the bag that they put it in is actually a really well put together, reusable bag. And then they had actually forgotten Jason's ticket, and I'll let him talk about this, but they gave him the VIP package.
Oh, jeez.
Which came with extra stuff like a carrying case and...
more paints, more figurines. It was too much, guys. Y'all were way too generous. But getting back to the con itself, we're doing more with them next year. Like, I want to do more with them next year. We, like I said, we're going to go over there and tour, and we're prepping for our own D&D game. And I think Reaper Miniatures is the perfect place for us to go to pick up things for that. So it's going to be a big video. It's going to be a bigger video as we build up to our own D&D game that we're playing. So without going way too... it's probably one of the best cons I have attended this year. What about you, Cora?
Hands down, it's one of my favorite that I've gone to this year. It's the first one I've gone to that I didn't feel completely drained after I left. Because it's not as big as...
You were chomping at the bit to go back the next day after.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was pumped to go back. I was actually... After being there the first day, I'm like, I'm so mad that I had to work this week and not come here instead. Because it would have been so much more fun. Like, they also do on Wednesday night, so the Wednesday before the con starts, because it starts on a Thursday, they have a pizza party. So if you have a ticket, if you bought a ticket for the con, like for the week-long event, you get to go to a pizza party at a place called Dungeon... I believe that one is also called Dungeon Dragon or something of that nature. I have the coupon somewhere. But it's a pizzeria and arcade that's up in Denton that they hold their meet and greet at, so you can meet the other people that are there for the con, you can meet the people from Reaper, you can meet all of these people and eat pizza and have fun. and then just, oh god, I can just go on.
So
Oh, also paint and take. They had a lot of paint and take events going on throughout the con as well. So you just basically bring a mini in there and paint it, and you get to take it home.
I think next year I'd also like to just play a game there if we could. So look for that next year. And if you missed it, guys, please go to ReaperCon 2019.
They
Same place.
I'm gonna definitely try to go next year. So this seems like a lot of fun.
They always have a story every year. They finished up the story for this year in the emails that got sent out. They already have the promotional banner for next year ready to go.
There you
And
go.
posted. Like, they are already set to go. Ron's wife, I cannot remember her first name. I'm very sorry, Mrs. Hawkins.
They work very hard on this.
They do.
And it's a labor of love.
She has a whiteboard that is the length of the wall in her office, and it was covered in tiny writing for everything for ReaperCon 2018. And now it has probably all been erased and reprinted with ReaperCon 2019. They put a lot of work into it, and it shows, and I love ReaperCon. I love Reaper.
Were there other
already.
forms of art, like canvas or any Bob Rosses
It
out
was
there?
mostly miniatures.
It
Mostly
was-
focused on miniatures.
It was mostly miniatures, but you did have, with a lot of the people that were doing miniatures, you could tell that they carved a lot of the stuff for it and everything. Like, it wasn't just, oh, I'm just going to paint a mini, even though that is nothing to, like, scoff at. That's hard to do because it's so tiny. But you had people that had full-on environments for their miniatures that they built and put together.
Dioramas.
Yeah, they built. Actually, they have a separate contest. They have the mini painting contest, and then they have the diorama contest, and it is judged solely on how well you tell the story in your diorama.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is, and you get a trophy with Sophie on it if you
Cool.
win. Like,
Well,
great.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm gonna try to go next year. You know?
both need to go.
I think everybody should go. It was a really good time. Anybody from my team that missed it, I mean, I feel bad y'all missed it, but definitely on our list of must-go-to cons.
Cool. ReaperCon 2019 next year.
Yep.
You'll catch us there.
So the other news that broke this week, Brie Larson, love you, Brie, didn't break the internet.
Nope, not even close.
We thought we were getting the trailer for Captain Marvel. We were hyped for it, but we did not. But we did get some good images, though. Some that we should break down a little bit. There's a lot going on with that. But first, if you don't know about Captain Marvel, let me give you a quick history. Captain Marvel is Carol Danvers. Her powers include superhuman strength, endurance, stamina, flight, physical durability, limited precognitive sixth sense, and a perfectly amalgamated human Kree physiology that rendered her resistant to most toxins and poison. This is from Wikipedia, by the way, guys. Able to fly at 6 times the speed of sound. Basically, and I don't know how much they're going to get into her powers in the Marvel Universe, but she is the most powerful person probably next to Thor right now with Stormbreaker. Carol Danvers is not to be screwed with. We do learn that, we did get a couple tidbits from the movie. She will have her powers. We're not going to get an origin story. We're just going to jump right into it, which I don't understand. Maybe we'll get some flashbacks or something, because we did see images of her in her Air Force days, because she is an actual captain, which is funny because Steve Rogers is actually a lieutenant and not a captain. Please, somewhere down the line in Infinity War 4, Avengers 4, make that joke. Please, somebody. So, she is an Air Force pilot. First off, just breaking down the first image, the suit. Guys, what do you think of the suit?
Gorgeous, just absolutely stunning. We've seen leaked images from set and all that, but this is the first time we got to see it like a clear, not blurry, not off to the side. This is a clear image we
And
got.
we saw her in the green suit, by the way. We didn't see the red, blue, and gold one.
Yeah. So to see it for the first time, you're just like, oh, they got it again. I mean, this is the MCU. They've done it all pretty on point. They've had a few misses, not very few misses, a lot of hits, and this is definitely on the top of their hits.
I'm excited that they're going to show both versions of the original Captain Marvel design from the Marvel comics. When I first discovered Captain Marvel as a kid, it was Carol Danvers, and it was the black with the yellow, with the yellow
the star pattern.
across the chest, and,
Yeah.
and then the red sash at the waist.
They didn't
and,
do the sash, and I do wish they had done that.
Well,
I'm
maybe,
kinda glad they
maybe
didn't.
we'll see that eventually. You know,
Okay, you're right,
because
you're
you know
right,
what, these guys are fans. They're not just people who are stuck with a job and they're trying to make money. So
That's true.
I thoroughly believe they at some point, do a tip of the cap to that look from the 70s, when she made it big in her own origin story in the comics.
They did with Luke Cage. Remember when they had him in that?
A little tongue-in-cheek. They did it well.
Yeah.
Cora, thoughts on the suit?
Personally, I love the suit that they've shown us. I guess I don't have any affinity to the original suit or any of the other suits that are in the comics because I actually haven't read any of the Captain Marvel comics. I've just known of her character and I've just loved her just based on what I've known about her. So I guess I'm not super attached to the suit itself, like with nostalgia reasons, but I really like how they incorporated the bright colors that I'm used to seeing on her.
Yeah.
And I love the star. Like sorry.
Go ahead.
For me, like the star with the bands, that's the one thing that I always see with the Captain Marvel suit, and that's the one thing that I'm just like,
yeah, I already have a couple friends that are like, who can commission this? Who or I'm gonna make this. This and like I've got a couple friends like my friend Whitney Swinford down in Florida and Corey Finch. That like I know they're huge Captain Marvel fans, so I tagged them in the post. So as soon as I saw the images come, I'm like, hey, here it is. And also Mindy Tomlin, they're like, oh, we got to get to work. Like, we want to make this. So, like, who can commission this? I'm like, holy crap! Like, they're set. They're excited. These are like diehard Captain Marvel fans, and they're real excited, which gets me even more excited because I'm like I said, I'm kind of on the boat with Core. Like, I don't know much about Captain Marvel, but I know enough, so I'm very excited.
I just want to add. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want to add. I read not only some of her solo stories, but she was also featured prominently in some Avengers books in the 80s with George Perez art. So
Ooh.
she is iconic. She is not. Yeah. She's not just somebody that Marvel has decided to throw in there, just because they want another female. She is an important part of the MCU.
I think she's gotten since like early 2000s. She started getting a resurgence, and it's been a good run. I like where they've gone with the character since then. But getting back to the images, we did see another one. We see that. I'm sorry, I had the actor's name. Lee Price will be returning as
Ronan the Accuser.
Lee Pace. And Jamon Hunso, who was Karath in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. We actually see him in a Marvel Corps suit. So what's up with that? Are we going to get some betrayal or something down the road? Because
the Nova... The Nova Corps?
No, the Marvel suit, like the green one with the star.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you see him. It's
yeah,
one of the UW images. He's in there. He's wearing one of the suits. And also, I'd like to note that Ronan is actually wearing a green suit. He doesn't have any of the face paint, so it was a little off-putting at first, but that's definitely him. So wondering how that's going to turn out because they definitely don't end up on the side of good by Guardians of the Galaxy.
And for those that saw, spoiler, this is 4 years later. That saw both of these characters die in Guardians. Remember, this movie takes place in the 90s, so we're way back in time, so just heads up on that.
Getting to that. Also, we know we are confirmed now Jude Law is Marvel.
Yeah.
So, anybody that knows, I'm not going to go spoiler here, but anybody that knows a little bit about that history,
woo!
Yeah, I'm not, if you know something, oh, that's Marvel, cool. I wonder how bad it's going to be. Anyway, so anyway, moving on. The biggest image coming off of the beach, coming out of the water, we have Skrulls. We have Skrulls, the shape-shifting race. A big Fantastic Four villain, which I'm questioning, is the choice to use Skrulls now due to the Fox and Disney merger. So, a couple of things I gleaned from this, though. From the casting, I was looking up. I see a couple actors playing Skrull Spy. This is Skrull Spy 1 and Skrull Spy 2. This is what Skrulls do. Mm-hmm. So
infiltrate.
Also, once again, this has big ramifications for the Marvel Universe.
Oh, yes.
Who's posing as who? And since this movie takes place in the 90s, I'm wondering what's going to happen here. So you can't trust a Skrull. You can't trust a Skrull. Also, let's give a shout out to Disney's de-aging process. I mean, they've done it for Robert Downey Jr. Yep. They've done it for from Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd?
No.
Michael Pena.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, who?
No.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah,
Michael Douglas. Okay.
So, because once again, we got
Oh, the de-aging, yeah.
Yes, they've done the same thing to Nick Fury. Looks rather young. Coulson is in this movie as well, so I'm curious what they're going to do about that.
Yep.
Because he is
They'll de-age him.
Man, look at him. He's so young looking.
The Skrulls are going to bring the paranoia aspect. Who can you trust?
I know.
I am so excited for this story.
Is there anybody currently in the Marvel universe that we might think is a Skrull?
Yes.
Ooh.
I bet you it's Hawkeye.
I am going to kill you.
I don't want it to be Hawkeye. I love the one picture of Carol. She's on the jet and she's like got her hands on the windshield. A friend of mine posted on her Twitter, "This is my sexuality now."
Yes.
Yes, queen.
Yes.
But the other image from that we did see was, I guess it's her wingman, and her name is on the side of the jet, Maria Photon Rambeau. Before you jump to conclusions now, that is the mother of Monica Rambeau, who also carried the Captain Marvel moniker at one point, but she could be coming back as Photon. So, another, because I'm pretty sure she's got a daughter somewhere, probably just itching to be a superhero one day. I love that one. That was one of my personal favorites, because I've always liked Monica Rambeau. I got to get her A4 set to get that figure. Yes. So
I like how they're setting up the future. Even
we're setting up the future in the past.
Yeah. We're setting up the future in the past. And even Marvel, you guys have done it so well. Thank you, you make us so proud.
Ricardo, I think they've had a lot of plans they've been carefully constructing from the beginning.
I know.
I mean, it's amazing what they've done in the 10 years or 11 years of Marvel movies now, because I truly, I think you hinted at it earlier. You basically said it, and I'll repeat it in case the people on YouTube and Twitch didn't understand. I thoroughly believe that we have someone who's stealthily infiltrated one of our teams. There's
who can you trust?
I mean, exactly. I really believe that, and they've been planning this for some time.
It's
really.
Pepper. It's Pepper Potts.
I think
that would crush me.
You know what? I want it to be somebody that will crush you when you find out who it is.
I think it's going to be the Hulk.
You think it's Bruce?
There's nobody we can trust right now.
I think it's Bruce.
This throws everything into.
Okay, so future show. As we get closer,
who's a Skrull?
Who's a Skrull?
Yep.
Once we get a trailer, which hopefully will be real soon. Once we get the trailer and all that, who's a Skrull? Just everything. Just
You know the other thing that I'm excited for this movie though, because I'm a father and I have a little girl. After she saw Wonder Woman, my daughter wanted to conquer the world with a sword and a shield. I want more of these small children out there wearing these Captain Marvel costumes and running around. And Kevin Feige has also said that there are more female-led Marvel movies coming in the future. He has said he also wants to do a Miss Marvel. He said that is on his plate to do. Yes.
Blu-ray.
there we go.
So if this gets more children wanting to be superheroes, I'm fine with that. Especially if it's little girls. If my daughter says, "Dad, I want to cosplay as Captain Marvel," come on, let's go.
Okay.
So,
All right, question then, and this is a way too early question. Will this movie outsell Black Panther?
no.
No.
I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna say no.
No? Okay.
Black Panther is, and I don't want to compare them like that though, because they're good movies by themselves.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think Captain Marvel is going to be disappointing. So, we'll see.
Okay.
We might. There's one chance that happens because we haven't had a good not a good one. We haven't had a Marvel movie since Ant-Man and Wasp. There's going to be quite a bit of lull between these two movies.
Yeah.
So I think it is going to bring people back to the theater. People are going to be chomping at the bit for something happy. You know, we got Ant-Man and Wasp, but spoilers, they kind of got us on that one too. But I think people are going to want another happy Marvel experience after Infinity War. And this will be the one they look for that.
Okay. Bryce?
I think it's going to be huge. I don't know if it's going to be bigger than Black Panther, but just think about the idea of if you're going to ride the wave of the success of Wonder Woman, Okay, if people like Brie Larson, I see no reason why they wouldn't jump at the chance to see this film, because if it's going to be a huge, if it's being touted as a one of the must-see movies, if it's if there aren't 3 or 4 other movies premiering at the same time, I don't know what other movies might be premiering.
We'll have to look at that.
Okay.
But I mean, if they don't have a lot of competition, for the first 5 or 6 weeks of its release, I just see no reason.
It is the second week of March. There, I don't.
Whoa.
March 9th, my original wedding date, but that's a different story. So okay, you say yes. You say maybe, maybe not.
I don't know.
Okay,
I think
so
it'll be huge.
once we hit the first trailer, I'm gonna ask that question again.
Yeah.
Just because
That's a good idea.
once we hit the trailer, we'll be like, ooh, because when we saw the Black Panther trailer, we're like, oh, that's I mean, Black Panther itself, just knowing this was coming, we knew it was gonna be money. Once we saw the trailer, it was like, oh, that's really gonna be money. So
Here's the other thing I think that's it's important to think about is that this is going to be riding the wave after Infinity War, which was immensely popular at the theaters, right?
If not a bit disappointing for other reasons.
But I mean, it sold a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
So just like Civil War with Black Panther in it, who stole the show,
and Spider-Man.
and Spider-Man, but particularly Black Panther, right? He stole
Yeah.
he stole the show, and then he got his own movie, and that was huge.
Cass
So,
may not be here, but she has said nothing will ever outsell Black Panther. So,
maybe.
All
maybe
right,
not.
girl, I see you.
We'll see.
I see you.
Cora, will it outsell? I want your opinion too. Give me some.
Right now I think it's a little too early to tell.
We're no trailer.
Yeah, we don't have a trailer, so like we have a general idea of what the movie is going to be about, sort of. But until we have a trailer, we don't know for certain where they're going with this, especially since we're starting with powers already. Which, I mean, we may see how she got them when they do, like, flashbacks, for example. That's maybe how they're going to do it.
Probably.
But until I have more information, I don't feel comfortable saying yes or no.
Okay, cool.
Plus, we have to find out how she gave Nick Fury something. Anyway,
We sure it was her?
positive. Who else would? I'm not going to that.
Does Brie Larson have a huge following?
Pretty much, yeah.
She was in. She won an Academy Award for a movie called
She was on
The Room.
wasn't she
Not
on
not
Community?
that room. A different room.
She was on Community.
But I'm saying,
No,
does she have a huge social
that's-
media
that's
following?
Allison.
Yeah.
Brie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alison Brie. Sorry, wrong one.
No, she was also in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and she won, like I said, Academy Award for a movie called The Room. Not that room, a different room. Just you'll find it online. Or
I'm
on
hoping that
Netflix.
we do get some sort of teaser or something soon and get a better idea of the movie. But already,
That will break the internet.
The images were very telling, and we'll leave it at that. But I am excited for the movie, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got on that. But while we're talking about Marvel movies,
We're gonna cast it.
we can cast it better. Why? Because we're nerds and we know stuff, and you should listen to what we know, and make sure it happens. And if you make it happen, just pay us, because totally we want some money for this, for these ideas. So basically,
I was just going to say, give back to your fandom that has been supporting you all these years, buying your figurines and your comics.
I swear, if I see any of these ideas like actually done, I'm gonna be mad as hell.
Give
So
back to the experts, please.
Right.
So
exactly.
here's the idea of
The
we cast it better. We basically give you a rundown. We tell a character we want. We cast who we want to play that character, possibly supporting cast, what platform we want it on, and just give some quick thoughts on it. So, Cora, because we've put figures on the table. We always do a theme show. We always put things on the table that are themed to what we're talking. So there's a figure on the table right now that, of course, threatened to steal from me. But go ahead and cast your Marvel property, Cora.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted.
Stop
by the figure.
staring at the figure.
But he's winking at me.
Not yours.
It's a piece of plastic.
He winked at me.
It's not Toy Story.
Anyways, so my favorite X-Men has always been Gambit, well, and Nightcrawler. It's been like a weird, like, they're tied because I love both of them, but Gambit always wins. I know we have Channing Tatum cast as Gambit, but I want to do my own casting.
Might as well, because that movie's never coming out.
Yeah. For people that don't remember what Gambit looks like, give me 2 seconds. I will show you. That is my husband.
Wow.
One day. Don't hate
Husbando.
my husbando.
Is Bando?
Yeah, you have to pronounce it
Husbando.
horribly, like waifu and husbando.
Wifey.
Wifey. But that's what he looks like, and I think with the help of Ricardo, because
You're
he's
welcome.
wonderful.
I know my men sometimes.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. I think that Michael Bomber,
Michael Bomber.
Boomer, one of those.
Bomber.
I think that he would be a great choice for it. I felt a little bit bad because I was going through his filmography. It's like, I know I've seen him. Where have
Oh
I
my
seen
God,
him?
yes.
And for the old folks
That's
like
a handsome man, by the way.
yeah, he has that charisma. But
I think you meant swagger. Anyway.
whatever. I want to see that in the costume. But for those who don't know, Guiding Light.
Isn't that a daytime soap opera?
It was a daytime soap opera on TBS.
That's
It's been running since I think the 60s or the 50s, one of those. He was on there for about a year, and I remember watching him on there and just being like, "Oh, hi."
So if you want to catch him in something more recent, you can watch all of White Collar on Netflix, which is an amazing show. Or you can also watch Magic Mike X 1 and 2. He's also a stripper in those movies. If this guy was like 10, 15 years younger, because he's in his 40s now, I would have casted him personally as Nightwing in anything DC. But because now he's in his older years, I'm like, I think he's a little too old to play that character. But I think he is still around that age that he could play Remy LeBeau. So.
Oh yeah, he would.
I said that correct, right? Remy LeBeau?
Yeah, Remy LeBeau.
Boom.
And God, he would be perfect.
While you're drooling over the actor, is this a movie? Is this a series? How are you going to run it?
I say it should be a movie. As much as I love Gambit a lot. However, if we're gonna have a series with him, it would have to be with other X-Men as well. It would have to be an X-Men series. But for this, I would like an origin movie with him, or just a standalone movie with him. I don't care. I just want a movie of some ilk with him in it, and then maybe he could join the cinematic universe in the reboot of X-Men that we are totally going to get one day.
Stick with the standard kind of operating.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Cool.
That's good casting. Though. I'm gonna give you that was good casting.
Can you high five Ricardo for me since I can't
No,
reach
I'm
him?
not doing that. I don't agree.
Bryce, give me a high five.
Yeah.
You can't force me to do things. Anyway,
It was a question.
well, speaking of Rick, what
I'm
are
accommodating.
you casting? Who do you think
Thank
you can
you.
do better?
I am casting. You got mad at me about this one earlier today.
All right, so
So
introduce
because
the
I've
character
had
first.
this conversation at work. We've had this conversation about who we would cast, and one of the ones that we kept coming back to was Zac Efron as Cyclops, in the MCU. Now, I don't like Cyclops. He's a dick. He's a douche. All of the above. I think Zac Efron could play that pretty well, especially if you saw Baywatch with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I think Zac Efron could do a decent job of being Cyclops. I mean, James Marsden did a pretty good job. I'll give him credit, but I think Zac Efron could do him justice as well. And if not Cyclops, then you know what? Give me Zac Efron as Iceman. I'd be done with that. I'll be down with that one too.
Can't be wishy-washy.
So
I would be down for Zac Efron in anything, please.
So here's my problem with that. Though.
okay,
Is Cyclops getting his own movie?
no, just put him. Just make him. Put him in the X-Men movie, in the MCU X-Men movie.
You should have cast a whole X-Men movie.
I
I guess that's going to be the next show. We're casting the new roster of X-Men.
If
for the movie.
okay, for villain Sabretooth, just
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Don't give them the whole show now.
all right.
We're gonna cast the X-Men for the Marvel Cinematic Universe one day. We're gonna pick X-Men. We're gonna divvy up the team, and we're gonna cast them. And Hollywood should totally listen.
X-Men Brotherhood of Mutants.
My choice is Moon Knight. I've been wanting a Moon Knight property for a while. I think it's a good one, and I want it to be a Netflix series because the character Mark Spector is, well, he's a little bit crazy. So the actor I picked for him, though, Alexander Skarsgård, who's on True Blood, I think he could do a good job of playing these different spectrums of Mark Spector's personalities, and he's very tall, because Moon Knight is supposed to be the Marvel Universe's answer to Batman, and I think he would make a very tall, imposing character, especially with that hood and the facial. With the no face thing, but also he can act. He has a really good voice too. Give him a little bit of modulation on that. I think it'll be perfect. So I am saying a Netflix series though. I think we could keep it low budget enough that maybe some CGI cape work, because this cape kind of does some crazy stuff in the comics.
So bring in another Skarsgård to the MCU.
Yeah, Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
all right.
I would. I think he's the perfect age to play Mark Spector as well. But I want to get really let's bring him in big in the first couple episodes. He is terrifying. He is scary. And then maybe in the first episode we find out he's also mad. He's also stark, raving mad. And also, looking at his face, he has a face that just says he can play crazy. And that's really what I would need. So yeah, give it a Netflix series. Eventually put him in with the new Defenders, maybe. I think it would make a solid property. It would have to be some really good writing behind it. And it wouldn't rely totally on just action and fighting and everything. You would have that B storyline of him dealing with his own madness and apparently just accepting it one day, because that's exactly what he does as Moon Knight. So that's my pick, Moon Knight, Alexander Skarsgård. Marvel, make it happen.
Cool.
So not that they could afford Ben Affleck, but he could make DC Comics fans who hate Marvel projects happy that Affleck would play that role. Not that that's important.
I think they're a good two sides of the coin for that one as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yours is probably my favorite of the night.
Okay.
Let me hear it.
Yeah. So last week we actually mentioned this character in regards to one of its creators. Yeah, one of its artists. Yeah. So I would like to see also in a Netflix series, because I think you can really develop characters and secondary characters really well in that format. I want to see Jessica Drew, who is Spider-Woman, and I think she would be a fascinating character. Originally Marvel actually made the character in the late 70s in a Marvel Spotlight comic book just to make sure that DC Comics or no one else would grab the character. It was a copyright thing. They wanted to just get the character out there, and then the character became popular. So they wanted to copyright it, and they did. And Marv Wolfman, famous comic book writer, handled the chores of writing for a while, and then passed on to several other creators. Several other writers, I should say. But the character, I think is interesting. As far as powers and abilities, it's a lot like Peter's Spider-Man. Peter Parker's Spider-Man. It has a lot of the same powers. But in addition to that, Jessica Drew was also trained by Hydra in covert ops, stealth, espionage, hand-to-hand combat, boxing, judo, karate, and I'm going to totally blunder the pronunciation of this word, but it's a Brazilian form of karate and dance.
Capoeira.
Thank you.
Capoeira.
Okay, thank you.
Capoeira.
And she was taught that by Taskmaster.
Ooh.
Okay, so there's some interesting.
There's a character. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, there's some interesting things that you could explore with this character for sure. Brian Michael Bendis, one of the best writers in the comic book industry, in 2009 put her in the New Avengers.
Yes.
As a primary character.
That was a good run.
Yes, it was.
I like that. Even though it ended in we'll get that kind of goes back into our other conversation.
Yes, it does.
Anyway, but
yes, it does.
That's okay. I like it. Who's playing her?
Okay, so if I had more time to think about it, because I only started thinking about it today, maybe I would have come up with maybe a slightly better choice. But I really am intrigued by the idea of a woman who would be the right age for this character to play her for a decade or longer, and that's Christian Serratos, who plays Rosita Espinosa on The Walking Dead. She's beautiful. She's got, I think, in her the ability to do action scenes. She plays a tough badass on The Walking Dead.
I can see it.
Yeah, and she would be
What's her
joining
name?
Christian Serratos. She plays Rosita. She's been on the show for at least 5 years on The Walking Dead. She's great. So if she were to play this character, she would be joining Denai Guerrera, who, of course, is in the Black Panther cast. And she's also, Michonne from The Walking Dead. So that would be, that would be fun for them to obviously play together on set at some point.
Marvel
But-
just slowly absorbs the entire cast of
Right.
The Walking Dead.
Right?
Rosita Espinosa, that's right.
Yes, and I want to add that as we accumulate more female heroines in the MCU, we already have Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp, as Janet. So I would love to have an all-female Avengers movie. That Evangeline Lilly is already on record as stating, "I want to do that."
Kevin Feige wants it to happen.
Yes.
Now, see, but we got to follow the Marvel formula. We got to give them their own movies first.
Yes.
So, wow.
Or
we can get a Captain Marvel.
Yes.
We can get a Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
We can get Black Widow in there. Maybe Scarlet Witch. We've already got those heroes established.
Yep.
We got Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
A couple more. We can fill out a team, baby.
Absolutely.
Could we have a good Mockingbird?
Ooh.
Sorry, I hated how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. portrayed Bobby.
Wow. Did not like their Bobby, huh?
No, I did not.
The shade is real.
Oh, well, we do have Sharon Carter, though. Sharon Carter could be on that team. So,
Yeah.
hell,
I'd be okay
we
with that.
pretty much almost filled a team right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol could lead it. This could be A-Force.
Could be.
Can we
So
just
old.
have Shuri make everyone gadgets?
Shuri would definitely
Oh,
be able to
yeah.
do
Okay,
that.
just give
But
me more
You
Shuri.
know who I want? If they would ever do that, if they would ever do A-Force, I need a She-Hulk.
I'm down.
Who would you have as She-Hulk?
I have no idea. That'll be for another show. We'll recast it again. Anyway,
Right.
guys, good choices, everybody, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, and I just want to add Jessica Drew, Marvel's first leading lady in a 1979
This
cartoon.
is true.
For kids on the ABC television network, back when we paid attention to that.
I would like to see a Spider property on Netflix. Ooh, but Sony still has... I wonder how that would go, but I would like to see it, actually.
Once Venom bombs.
Yeah, even with your wackadoo Cyclops casting, we're gonna have to cast the X-Men movie. I like all of these choices. Maybe y'all can be whatever. Shut up. Let me on. Anyway, guys, that has been our show this week. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our casting. We're definitely gonna revisit this at some time. Maybe do the DC universe, do a little bit of Image in there. Maybe just do an independent comic show. We cast it. We put it where it's gonna go. And our opinions are correct, and you should listen to us. So
Yes.
anyway, guys, thank you for
Just
joining
ask
us
us, we'll
this
tell
week.
you.
We'll be back next week. Not sure what we got planned, but we'll be back next week. So
Yay.
anyway, of course, if you want to follow us on social media, personally, you can follow me at JasonTheX on Twitter and Instagram.
You can
Rick?
find me on Instagram at AlamoNerd89. I post pictures of our dogs.
And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Bryce Culver, and also I have a toy Instagram page, and it is called Trapdoor Toys on Instagram.
He's taking over, Jason.
And Miss Cora working the board. Thank you for all your hard work back there. Y'all give her a hand because she works really hard back there.
Oh, yes.
Cora, where can they find you and your newest projects?
You can find me on Instagram at Korodono, Korodono. I usually post my artwork, and every other week, including this, and that includes this week, I take requests while I play D&D with a different group of nerds, because combat takes forever and I gotta do something. In addition, you can also find me on Twitter at HawksPerch, where I scream into the void about Suikoden until the void screams back. Sometimes I post Castlevania as well.
Has
But-
it ever screamed back at you?
So, yes, it has
Twitter
actually.
does.
Oh.
I've made like 3 or 4 new friends
Aw.
on Twitter because of Suikoden, because the Suikoden community on Twitter is actually very nice. So if you want to ask us questions, we will gladly answer them for you, because we like finding new people. Stay away from the Facebook fandom, apparently, because one of my friends got hate mail.
Ooh,
then.
yeah, be careful on that. So, can I
yeah.
do 2 quick shout-outs real quick?
Oh, go ahead,
Make sure you check out Regeneration Arcade and Pizzeria. And
We need to go there.
yeah, we do need to go there. My friend Travis, he's the owner there. He just opened it up. I worked with him at Alamo Draft House, so I'm very, very proud of him. They're doing things every day of the week, so check that out. Go to the Facebook page and check it out. Also, a quick shout out to my friend Issa out in Vegas. She's been doing this awesome Hawk cosplay from My Hero Academia. You can follow her on Instagram at Issa Nisa. So find her on there, give her all the love that she deserves. So yeah, quick shout out.
And of course, if you want to follow us, we are on Instagram and Twitter at SCNS Live. And of course, like our Facebook page, facebook.com/SCNS Live. But while we got you on YouTube and Twitch, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos. But that's it for the show. We'll see you guys Thursday next week. And as we always say around here, keep on
nerding.